and too big for this. What's up, everyone? So today we're in the back of the Mini, and I'm going to start on building the strut tower braces. So I'm going to build them front and rear. I'm going to start on the rear first. I'm going to start by pulling the seat out. So obviously, since I'm going to be building a strut tower brace, there are some for sale on the market that will just run right at the back of the seat here, and you retain the back seat. But I'm 6'3", and the front seat is actually touching the back seat. I've got plenty of space, I've got plenty of room for myself, but it makes that rear seat absolutely useless. So I'm gonna do a rear seat delete kit at the same time as doing these other modifications. Get rid of this rear seat, actually make a larger, more usable trunk space, but also stiffen up the chassis. So I could buy strut tower braces, but I own the stuff. I have a welder, and I bought the raw materials to build the strut tower brace, and I haven't done any fabricating on the channel yet. So, I mean, you guys have seen the strut tower braces, or not strut tower braces, the rock sliders on the Jeep that I built for that, but you guys didn't actually see me build them because I had built them before I started recording stuff. So I'm gonna start by getting this back seat out of the way so that I can begin building stuff. Something else that I want to do that a lot of people don't do, well, as far as what I've seen, a lot of people will just tuck the seatbelt behind the panel, and that just seems dumb to me. So I don't want it to be making noise, rattling inside the panel, and I don't have a rear seat. I don't need rear seat belts, so I'm gonna ditch those as well because it's more weight to drop. And if I'm not utilizing it, it doesn't need to be there. That part might kind of suck because like that whole side panel has to come off for me to actually access it. So that's not gonna be great, but it'll be worth it. Another thing to keep in mind, you guys do this, there are airbags in here. So I'm gonna go detach the battery because I don't want an airbag to blow up in my face. So that actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was. I guess the ones I've seen that people have taken side panels off were older Minis, and like the whole side panel is attached as one, where this has just this back section, which is really cool because I don't have to pull off the whole panel. But got the seat belt out, and I will weigh all this stuff so you guys know. So I know as well, but so you guys know all the weight I've pulled out of it. I'll weigh all of this stuff when we're done. What is going on? Just go on. Obviously this is not cut to size yet, but I've got the start of my bracket here. So I can put it up against it. So I know that that is as far as I will be able to go. Now I have it marked there, where I actually need the holes on this angle. I need to get those holes drilled first because it makes more sense to do that. And then I need to chop these off. So I will start with drilling some holes. So I got all 4 of those drilled, and I will clean those holes up a little bit after I cut these, because I'm gonna have to clean up all the edges of these anyway, so I'll just clean it all up at the same time. Got those cleaned up. Now I just need to fit them in the car, make sure that everything's good there, and start making the crossbars. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that from there, maybe, but I've got the brackets bolted in on both sides. So now I just need to figure out where the center of them is, and this socket is almost exactly the same size as the DOM tube that I've got, so I'll put this up against it, mark around it, and then I can modify these brackets, because I'm going to cut off all the excess. I don't need to have all of this section of the bracket here. I need it to come to almost like a triangle, but rounded. So I'm going to get rid of a bunch of it. So I marked these up. That is roughly where the DOM, well, this is just outside where the DOM is going to sit, because obviously I want some space here to actually weld onto, because, you know, welding to metal is probably a good plan. So yeah, so that's roughly where it's going to sit, and now I need to mark it across here, because I'm going to chop off all of that, because it doesn't need to be there. We got those marked up, and all of this section here and here will be going away. That should leave us enough, because we've probably got 1/8 of an inch there, because, you know, it's just on the inside. If I can get it to sit, there we go. It's just on the inside of that line, and just on the outside. Yeah, that one's just on the outside of that one. So we've got probably 1/8 inch there that we can weld all around the outside here. So that should be plenty. Worst case, I can always just move the tube slightly inboard if I feel like I want a little more material there. I got those cut out. Now I just need to clean up, you know, all those nasty cut me bits. I need to clean up the edge here, and I'm going to round that corners out as well. So I rounded out okay, not too bad. It's not perfect, but it's all right. I guess they match up pretty good. So, yeah, not too bad. Got these cleaned up. Got any dirt off of there that may have been on there. Any grease or anything is now ground off, so I can get a really good, clean, strong weld on there. So, I'm gonna mount them back in the vehicle, and actually have you guys look at me. I'm gonna mount these back in the vehicle, and I can measure out for how long that crossbeam needs to be. All right, guys, so I marked out right there, so I marked out the length that it needs to be. I'm gonna put a bit of tape around it, and hopefully that will help me cut a nice straight line. We'll see how that goes. So obviously, it's not tacked in place or anything yet, but and you guys are sideways because of the stupid thing I've got you attached to. You guys think about that? Not too bad. I'm okay with that. Now I need to grab the welder and put some good tacks on it so that it's tacked in place, and I could start on actually probably this base plate, and then I can start doing the down tubes to that base plate. So I'm gonna tack these in really quickly. We'll go from there. I don't know how to get out of here. Hopefully you guys could basically see what I was doing. You can probably see that side pretty well, but I don't know. Guess I'll see when I watch it what this side looks like. But I got it tacked in there first. I was happy with the placement. And then I didn't want to pull it out to really burn it in, because I didn't want it to, like when it heats and cools, it'll pull. So I didn't want it to pull the plates weird, because then I couldn't get them back in. So basically just used the car as my jig, and I burned them in all the way around on the other side, on just like the front side. I burned them in all the way around. The only part left is just back here where I can't get to because this metal's in the way. So I'll let this cool down all the way. I'm gonna go eat some dinner. And when I'm done, I'll come back out and I will burn in this side. So I will see you guys in a little while. It's been a couple hours. I'm gonna pull this back out so that I can finish weld this side and then put it back in so we can start on the diagonal bracing. So that's finished welded and bolted back in. I probably would be good just leaving it at that, and that's gonna stiffen it up, but I know triangulating it is gonna stiffen it up even more, so I wanna do that. And you guys don't see this. I want you guys to actually see where I'm going with it. So you can see right here, there's one hole right there. And on the other side, maybe, there's two holes. So I want to make a bracket that goes down around those, which I'm gonna put it back on the stand. Ideally, what I really like to do is do it with a press brake and actually, bend a piece of metal to go right there. But I don't have a press brake. So what I will do is probably just cut 3 separate pieces. I don't even have a vise here. If I had a vise here, I would probably at least bend the one side. I could probably get away with doing both in the vise as well, but I don't have a vise here either. So we'll just do it by hand, cutting the pieces up and welding them back together. I guess do it by hand, but not with not a bent piece. I'll manufacture a piece that goes around it. Okay guys, I want to give you an update on where I'm at with things. It's been a day or two since I worked on it last. Had some things going on I had to get taken care of, but back working on it again. Just finished building that plate for the center. So on this side, I actually cut like halfway through this and bent it, welded it back together. This is actually a separate piece. So it's not welded on the back side yet. You can see that piece is separate. But that piece is actually one piece. So it should give it a little bit more structural rigidity. We'll see. It shouldn't matter though. It'll be really strong anyway. But I got it all welded there. Got to clean it up still. There's a lot of slag on it. welded on that side. So I will get that cleaned up, get the slag off of it. Don't know if I'll smooth out welds or not, because I don't really care if it's 100% smooth. A little bit more weld staying there will keep it stronger, and the welds look good, so it's not like I care about, you know, smoothing it out so it doesn't look weird. So I will grab the grinder, get the slag off of it, clean it up a little. I will put it on the vehicle, and I'll probably end up welding this backside on this one. But I need to make sure that it fits. It's not going to interfere there. So I'll double check that first before I actually put some weld on it. We'll get it cleaned up and start on the triangulated down tubes. Okay, got some weld on the underside. I did grind it a little because I don't want any high spots to be touching underneath. But I didn't grind it much. But got some good penetration on it, so it's going to be nice and strong. So got some good color there. I'm not sure if you guys can see because I'm in the way, but I'll show you what I've got going. So I cut out that side, coped this side, and this side to go on that base plate. This goes up against that cross beam. So I've got that one where I really like it. Now I'm going to start on the other side, and I will have to cut a bit off of this edge because I want them to butt up against each other, but I'm not going to do that until I have the other piece actually fitted in there. I have a center point, so I can cut them at the center point when I actually know they both sit there nicely. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching me build the strut tower brace. I will be painting it, but I'm going to do a couple different parts to this series because I need to build the rear seat delete kit, the front strut tower brace, and build the air intake for the Mini as well. So hopefully you guys keep an eye out for the future videos coming. Hopefully you guys are enjoying some of the Mini content, getting this thing really stiffened up, dropping a little weight with the rear seat delete kit, but I will have added a bit of weight back in with this. So I don't know how much weight for sure will actually drop with the rear seat delete kit, but it's okay. We've stiffened up the chassis a lot with this brace. I almost forgot to record this for you guys. I did weigh everything that came out, weighed everything that's gone back in. So obviously there's more things to go in, but right now we're sitting at a loss of 50.6 pounds. So not too bad for just pulling out stuff that isn't going to be used anyway. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and we will see you very soon.